Hi guys, it's me, Delicious Delights. How are you guys doing? Hopefully well. So today's video is about a fragrance that I think anything I say about this fragrance won't justify how wonderful, fantastic, gorgeous this fragrance is. So you already know from the thumbnail that this is going to be a video about Dior Fahrenheit. I have a small little vintage bottle here, and this is the reformulation. So there you go. As far as I know, how you can tell whether it's a vintage bottle or not is if you look at this tiny cute little mini. The writing says Christian Dior Paris in small writing in the bottom. Sorry, it's kind of blurry. And then we have the cap that has a rounded type of ovalish, roundish kind of edge there. Whereas if you look at the newest formulation, it just says Dior here instead of Christian Dior. The bottle looks pretty much the same, but the cap here is straight and it says CD on the top. So correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, but that's, as far as I know, that's how you can tell of whether you have an older version or not. Of course, you can always look at the batch code and check online to see if there's information on when it was actually released. But yes, Fahrenheit, iconic, legendary men's designer fragrance that I think is timeless, classic, and comparing to all of the popular men's designer fragrances that I hear a lot about in YouTube or just in the fragrance community in general, I mean, when you compare it to this, I'm like, what are you guys talking about? I'm like, why isn't anyone mentioning Fahrenheit? What the heck is going on? So maybe, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just like a sucker for this fragrance, or I'm just older. I mean, I'm 38 right now, so this is a fragrance from, I don't know what year, but I think the 80s. I'm gonna check later on when I go through the notes and everything. But I don't know. Is it dated? I don't think so. I just I don't know why. I don't know why this fragrance doesn't get the attention that it deserves. I think that this is like so amazing. So this isn't gonna be a real review. I'm just gonna talk about this fragrance. I'm gonna wing it. I have not written any notes or even thought of points that I wanted to tell you guys about. But before I begin, it's been 3 minutes already. Thank you to my buddy who has lent me these bottles. These are not mine, but thank you. I love this fragrance, and I think that this is definitely a fragrance that, you know, that men should wear, at least own in their collection. Unfortunately, my husband doesn't really like this fragrance, and it's like breaking my heart because I would love if he actually wore this fragrance, but he does not. He doesn't even really like the House of Dior in general. So, I mean, I can't force him to wear it, but you know, if it were up to me, he would be wearing this a lot. So let's go into a little bit of a backstory of how I discovered this fragrance. It goes way back. I don't know how old I was. Maybe around 10 or 11. I'm not sure, like years and years ago. And I was flipping through a magazine in the supermarket. And I don't remember what it was, but I was flipping through and I saw this ad, and it was an ad for Dior Fahrenheit. And what I remember, like, I haven't even looked at that ad forever, but what I remember was that it was like this ombre effect, just how the bottle looks like, of this beautiful burgundy kind of red into a brighter red at the bottom. And I just think that this is one of the most beautiful bottles that I've seen ever. I think Dior does a really great job with their bottles, by the way. So yeah, that imagery has stuck in my mind even till now. And actually, just for the sake of it, if you guys don't mind, I am going to pull up that ad. Hopefully I can find it. Like I said, I haven't prepared anything for this video. But I'm gonna go Dior Fahrenheit 80s ad and see what I come up with. There it is. There it is. It was very similar, or if not exactly this one. But that's what it looked like. And the ad for this just completely just stuck in my mind. I don't know, maybe it's just the color or something, I'm not sure. Oh, now my alarm is coming off. Okay. This is a mess. So that's the ad. Oh gosh. It's beautiful. And okay, so years after that, I was hanging around at the mall with a friend, and we were at the fragrance counter at a department store, and I actually got to smell this fragrance. And at the time, I was really, really, really dumbfounded. I'm gonna spray it on my skin because growing up, I was used to my dad wearing Brut and Old Spice, you know, those old school fragrances from the early 80s. That's what I was used to smelling. That was my idea of what men's perfumery was at the time. But when I was older, I smelled this and I'm like, what is this? Is this really a perfume? Are guys supposed to really smell like this? I was really intrigued at the same time because it was such like out of left field. Like it was so unexpected. And I was like, what? Is this for real? Oh my gosh. I have the reformulation on here. And it just still blows me away, seriously, when I smell this. It smells fantastic. It's a clean motor oil, leather jacket, garage mechanic kind of smell. And it sounds dirty, but it is not whatsoever. It has a beautiful, clean soapiness to it, along with this contrasting dark motor oil, petrol, mechanics, garage kind of smell that blends together into the most perfect men's designer fragrance, or one of at least, ever made. And like, my words don't even do it justice. This is just such a beautiful, daring, unique fragrance that is just mind-blowing. Okay, so yeah, so I was young and I tested this and I was very, very intrigued and interested. And then I'm gonna fast forward many years, and I'm into my hobby, like well into my hobby. And after all this time, I kind of put together of why, at least I came up with a reason as to why this fragrance to me is one of the best, if not the best, men's designer fragrances ever made. And the reason, and this is going to sound a little bit cheesy, but the reason is because this fragrance reminds me of my dad. Hi Dad, if you're watching. Probably not, he doesn't watch my videos, at least I don't think so. But okay, so why does this remind me of my dad? My dad, for the longest time, has used Irish Spring soap. In Fahrenheit, I do get like an Irish Spring soapy kind of smell throughout this fragrance. But along with that, my dad also, growing up, he wore a leather jacket. And the leather jacket, every single time he went into the truck, you can smell this leather jacket kind of smell. But you can also smell that he has this Irish Spring kind of smell also. So you put those together, and my dad parks his truck into the garage, and the garage has a very distinct kind of motor oil smell because he is kind of a handyman kind of guy. He knows about cars. He fiddles with the cars, his projects and stuff like that. And there is a very distinct motor oil, petrol kind of smell just in that garage in general. Everything in that garage smells like that. It smells amazing actually to me. And it reminds me of growing up around my dad basically, and just being around the house, in the garage, that whole imagery put together, the truck in the garage, the motor oil petrol smell from all of his tools and his little things that he does to his truck, and he, you know, and then you add that to the leather jacket smell that I would smell on him whenever he entered the truck wherever we're driving, plus that Irish Spring kind of smell. So that smells to my nose almost exactly what Fahrenheit smells, and that's why I totally am head over heels about this fragrance. Now, let's put aside my history with this fragrance and my dad and how it reminds me of him. Alone, this fragrance just smells so unique and so interesting. It is so avant-garde. Like, I can't imagine back then they had all these powerhouse fragrances, and I can't imagine when this released, like how people must have reacted to this. Probably is how I'm reacting to it now, and how different it is and how amazing it is. And I'm gushing, you guys. This is a freaking fantastic fragrance. Luckily, it's still available. Like, I have not done a comparison video with these two together. The vintage version is very sought after, very hard to find, but I think that you can't go wrong with this either. It's absolutely fantastic. And it reminds me of my dad, basically. And it's such a coincidence because that's exactly how this fragrance smells. Okay, so let's get into a little bit about the notes. I have not really checked it out. So, like, this is going to be new for me too. So, Fahrenheit, Christian Dior. Okay, so this was released, it doesn't even say, oh, that does, 1988. The perfumers are Jean-Louis Suzak and Michel Almayrac. I have no idea if I'm saying that correct. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. The top notes are lavender, mandarin, orange, hawthorn, nutmeg flower, cedar, bergamot, chamomile, and lemon. There's a lot of notes in the top. In the middle, we have nutmeg, honeysuckle, carnation, sandalwood, violet leaf, jasmine, lily of the valley, and cedar. And base notes are leather, tonka bean, amber, patchouli, musk, and vetiver. So good. Perfect. Another 5 out of 5 fragrance, 5 stars, perfect fragrance. If you haven't tried it, please do. It's a little bit weird, a little bit strange, but I think that it's just, this is just like top level men's designer fragrances. Never mind the La Nuit de L'Hommes or the Sauvage, Bleu de Chanel. Like, I think that this is so much better. That's just my opinion. If you like those fragrances, fine. But if you just want to kill it with your fragrance, I think this is definitely one to try for sure, especially if you can get a vintage version. Can women wear this? I think so. I do wear it from time to time. It just makes me feel like I am unstoppable and very, very confident. And I just love this. So yeah, women, don't be afraid of it. I think most women wouldn't want to wear it. Just, I don't know why. It has that very masculine feel to it, but if you are feeling daring, I think that you can definitely pull this off, and I love wearing it every so often, and mostly because of the emotional attachment that I have to it. But if you don't have that emotional attachment, I think it's just a fantastic, fantastic fragrance. Okay, so that was my very long video on Fahrenheit Eau de Toilette by Christian Dior. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to do a thumbnail. I don't know if I'm going to use that. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know about your experiences with this fragrance, and I would love to hear your feedback. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll be back with more videos soon. See you guys. Bye.